Okay, beautiful people. Hey, it's me, Kirsten, and this is the It's Giving Mystical podcast. And this is your podcast for the week ahead, the week of July 3rd. The July podcast is out. I had a hiccup where it was the weirdest thing. It like freeze framed on my face and then did the recording of the individual horoscopes, but then didn't translate the audio. I don't know, whatever. Very Mercury retrograde. C'est la vie. What's really interesting is 98% of the time take a photo of the monthly cards just so I can remember what we talked about. And I didn't. And I actually put them away. So now I have to redraw. So there's somewhere in an alt universe another monthly horoscope for each of the signs. And we'll just let that download somewhere in the ethers. We just came out of the Star Week. I hope that was restful for you. It doesn't mean that that life wasn't happening. It doesn't mean it wasn't busy. But I hope there was that's idea of restoration, some idea of rejuvenation, some idea that, okay, wait, I caught my breath. Who am I? How does it feel? I'm loved on some level. Hopefully you were feeling that either in the 3D or in the 5D or in some combination of all of the above. And the star energy is really getting comfortable with the fact that you're loved, that you're not just here. You weren't just plopped here. You weren't just put here, best of luck, enjoy the show. You were put here as part of a system, part of a network, part of the luminescent grid, part of this beautiful experiment that is Earth School, and you are loved here. They say in all of these schools of thought that Earth School is the hardest school. I love that we say that for ourselves. We're obviously in the toughest school, but there is something about the infiniteness, the pure love of our beings being put in these individual, so vulnerable, like incredibly delicate and robust and resilient little bodies, and then asked to understand the difference between separation and union. It's a rough one. It can be lonely. It can be a tough ride. So I hope that at some point last week, you had a sense of, okay, like I'm held, I'm not alone, I'm not going to be running at the pace I've been running. There's a way in which July functions always as a pivot in the year. It's the beginning of the second half of the year. But we want to remember we're in this Wheel of Fortune year. We're in this year where alignment is everything. And so much of what we've experienced these last 6 months has been the falling away, the crumbling away, the redirection, the rerouting. I really have this sense of rewiring happening in our systems, but also in the larger grid. We're kind of live in this electric universe. And so the sense of rewiring isn't so crazy. So if that's what we've been experiencing, what now? And one of the invitations that came up in Full Moon Circle was to not feel like you are the architect of what's next. Okay, so you have been the architect. You've done a great job. And there's probably more possible than you can comprehend, than you realize, than you even are willing to hope for yourself. So can you allow July to be a kind of architecture month? Can you allow the power of your will, of your desire, of your singularity to meet with the adoration of the universe, the benevolent love of the universe, to architect some kind of structure that will guide you into these next months, and to not take that on as your sole responsibility, to understand that there are other, you're not the only force in the universe, which sounds silly, but don't we believe that? Like, don't we have these moments where we think, well, if I don't figure this out, it will never get figured out. And the funny thing is, it always does. It always does get figured out. Okay, so Ace of Wands is our card for the week, which is amazing. We all love an Ace of Wands week. I love an Ace of Wands week. You love an Ace of Wands week, because an Ace of Wands week is new energy. It's sexual turn on. It's passion. It's inspiration. It's like a spark of, life feels good. It's warm. It feels enlivening. It like brings you to attention, right? Look at that card. That's a pretty clear indication of I'm interested. I'm paying attention. I'm turned on. I'm lit up. There's something about the Ace of Wands that kind of brings us up. It's very different than star energy. Star energy asks us to relax, to soften, to be held. And Ace of Wands energy is like that, this, now, I want it. It's that kind of energy. So we all love that card. It came in upside down, reversed, as they say. Did you guys know that sometimes when I'm channeling, I get really out of breath? Is that something I've ever said out loud to you guys? It's true. And I was listening to the July podcast and I was talking so fast and I was so out of breath the entire time. So we'll take that for what it is. And to be honest, I haven't taken the best care of myself in June. June has been really about my children, and I've put my little body, my needs on the back burner. So I can tell that I don't have as much capacity to hold energy as I normally do. I'm a little bit depleted. So the star month, the star week is important for me too. But that's just something to note. Like, I know that I need to take care of my body to be able to do my work with clarity and well. And when I was re-listening to the July podcast, I was like, okay, girl, you're worn out because you're channeling the same amount of energy you're always channeling, and you're completely out of breath while you're doing it. It's interesting to think about channeling, about sharing, about visioning as physically tiring, but it is. And it comes back to that thing. And it's going to be with us. Your body is precious. Your body is sacred. And the call back to taking care of your body, to tending to your body as a primary activity, like that's the first thing you got to be doing, is so important. And that's going to keep coming up until we hear it, right? Or until we refine our way of doing it. And I do a pretty good job of it. But this past month, I've just yoga on the back burner, eating well on the back burner, sleep on the back burner, and it's catching up with me. So the start time couldn't be coming in more on time. So I apologize, because when I listened back to it, I was like, girl, you're talking so fast and you're out of breath, but it's part of what the experience is for me. Okay, so speaking of out of breath, Ace of Wands, it is the sense of life catches you and wakes you up. It came in reverse, and a couple of the other cards I pulled with it have less to do with the experience and more to do with how comfortable you are in the experience. So the Nine of Wands came up and the Four of Pentacles came up, which just said that whatever this thing is, it could be a person, it could be an idea, it can be an environment. It's something that feels fresh, feels enlivening again, feels inspiring, feels sexy. And there's something about it that, not that it feels too good, but that you notice, we've all lived complicated lives. You notice that as you feel called and enlivened and excited by this thing, there's parts of you that are holding back. There's parts of you that are afraid to invest. That's the Four of Pentacles, right? Like, maybe I'll just stay here. Maybe I'll just keep my coins right here for a minute. Or the Nine of Wands, that wounded warrior energy of, wow, well, yeah, but it felt good another time too, but look what happened. And it's, again, one of the big lessons in July is to not let your brain narrate an experience that you're having that's beyond language, beyond conscious thought. If we really think of this as a rewiring, if we think of this as an energetic experience that we're having this year, if we think about June, even the tower energy of June, right? What was that message? That message was the system wants to hold more energy than it's held before. So it's shifting capacity. It's rewiring itself to be able to feel more, to be more sensitive, to be more alive. And then we encounter something that speaks to that expanded capacity. Ooh, like that feels good. And there's going to be a way in which our brain is alert. This is new. This is dangerous. This is exciting. You want this. And if you want this, it might get taken away from you. And, me, bearer of bad news, we were talking in Full Moon Circle about new relationships, about falling in love. And this is another David data that really sticks with me. You are going to lose what you love. Full stop. You hold back because you're like, oh, well, that person might hurt me, or they might betray me, or it might not be as good as it sounds, or he might not be the one, she might not be the one, it might not be the one. And so let me hold myself back so I don't get hurt. Newsflash, to love is to lose. So if you meet the perfect person, you have the perfect job, you're going to go, they're going to go, the environment's going to shift, they're going to get betrayed, you're going to get betrayed. To love is to lose. There's no end game where we're like together forever and there's never any kind of friction. It's just not possible. And so that comes back to that Gay Hendricks, that big leap idea. Notice where you're holding yourself back from feeling good. Like, notice where you're holding yourself back from pleasure, from excitement, from aliveness, from vitality, from turn on. And that Portuguese quote, it's a quote from a poem, and it says, "May it be infinite while it lasts." I remember hearing that years ago, and it actually made me sad. It made me sad, like, no, I don't want it to be infinite while it lasts. I want it to be infinite. I want to fall in love and keep them forever. But as I've matured, you guys, as I've matured, no, but as I've like just lived, I realized that that is the whole thing. It it will not last. It makes me emotional even saying that. It will not last. It's not what we're here to do. And again, this earth school, but may it be infinite while I'm in it. While I'm in it, let me have my eyes wide open. While I'm in it, let me play full out. While I'm in it, let me ride it all the way. And so there's something really beautiful about this Ace of Wands week because you're going to notice, oh, this is infinite. It's infinite for 30 seconds, a smile with a stranger, infinite for 15 minutes when you download a new idea, infinite for the next 50 years. May you, live long and prosper. Whatever it is, may you be in the infinite pleasure of it. May you enjoy it. May you turn to it as fully and cleanly and clearly as possible. And don't worry about what happens next, because this is the truth. When you stay with yourself, when you become your own best ally, even when it's over, even if you lose it, even if your heart gets broken, you're still with you. You can't be taken from you. And this is why this idea of location, this idea of self-love, this idea of companionship, idea of you speaking kindly to yourself, being your own best ally. My brain is like half TikTok sound, but being your own best ally. And then no matter what, like you got you are actually the infinite companion in this journey with yourself. And so the Ace of Wands this week is going to say to me, okay, this feels really good. How good can I let it feel? And to quote my guy Gay, one beat longer, one breath longer, 1 minute longer before you take that pleasure away from yourself, before you kick that, like, what does he call it? Upper limit problem, before you kick that into gear, before you shut down your pleasure, before you limit what you can have because, yeah, it might get taken away. May you just stay with it 1 beat, 1 minute, 1 breath longer. May you just be present with the infinite just a little bit longer. Because you're going to notice this week that whatever you're drawn to, you are equally braced against. And okay. And the 4th of July weekend, I don't think there's an astrologer I know who's not going into an underground bunker this weekend. I don't know what that means. I know I should take this more seriously, but also I don't want to. So this 4th of July weekend, it's supposed to be super volatile. Tomorrow is the Uranus-Mars conjunction in Gemini that everyone is talking about. We are in Mercury retrograde, which impacted me on my little podcast, and I'm sure is impacting the world much more widely. We have Jupiter in Leo, which is just allowing us all to be a little bit more outrageous, be willing to be seen in our honesty. And there's just a lot, and this Capricorn full moon is still grounding. So we're talking about finding ways to ground these live wires. I'm not worried. Maybe I should be, but I'm not. I don't want to live that way. And at the same time, just know that you don't want to put yourself in super volatile situations this weekend. You just don't. Why? Why do you ever want to put yourself in super volatile situations? But if for some reason your plans have shifted and you're feeling like, oh, I was going to do this thing, but it got taken from me, count your blessings. Like the blockage is the blessing this weekend. If it's not going to come together, if it's not going to work out, that's okay. A little more space, a little more calm, a little more quiet is going to serve everyone this week. All right, so Ace of Wands, dude, enjoy it. May you feel turned on. May you feel excited. May you feel present. May you feel, present with the infinite. Whatever that looks like for you this week, I hope that you have that opportunity. And I hope you can allow the Star and the Ace of Wands to work together. I feel excited about this. I'm also scared. And I am held. Feel all the layers of that. Okay, sending you so much love. About to post the monthly horoscopes for everybody. And, may it be infinite while it lasts. Bye.